Hey everyone, Kevin Tanner coming to you with another review here of the Micro Galaxy Squadron series. So this is the Razor Crest Arvala-7. So I'll go ahead and walk through the packaging on this really quick, what comes with it, take a look at the ship, all the features of it, measure it, and talk about the figures. So first, starting with the packaging. So here is what the packaging looks like. So the one thing that's really cool about this is, first I'll just show you the side. Shows you the little thing on the side of it, as well as the back. What happens there, the thing pops off the side, all that good stuff. So then on the inside, the great thing about this, and this is where I feel like this is almost a transition line as it's moving into Wave 2, is the cardboard backing. So this has got all of the gunships on it, which is a really cool feature to this because, you know, as you look at the packaging for all of the different ships, for all of the smaller ships, you get little bits and pieces of a background, and then you get the Millennium Falcon that has really the big background that shows everything that's going on in the scene. And then now we get this as basically the last item that's being released for Wave 1, and it gives like a little bit of a lead into what's coming in Wave 2. So very cool, like that feature. I don't know if that was done intentionally. I'm guessing it was, but you know, either way, that is what it is. So that's the packaging. It does come with the little figure pack. So here's what it looks like. You get your Din Djarin, Kuiil, Off-World Jawa. And so we'll go ahead and look then just at the figures really quick first. So here is Kuiil. So pretty awesome detail on this figure. And again, just like we're seeing with some of these others, especially the ones that come in the bigger ships, that the paint detail is fantastic. So that's him. Then we get the Off-World Jawa. So he's got his two little red eyes on there. Has articulation on him, arms move, legs move, just like all the other figures. But pretty cool, have the belt painted on there. And then you get just the standard Din Djarin. So this is one that doesn't have all of his armor painted. So at some point here, I'll go through and paint all of the rest of it. But this is what it looks like coming out of the box. He does have a cape that can come off, just like the one that's in the Scout class. So that is that. And so then we can take a look at the ships. So really quick, actually, before I move on too far, I'll go ahead and just do the size of these guys. So there we go. Din Djarin is 1 inch tall, just like all of the other ones. And then Kuiil and the Off-World Jawa, they're both 3/4 of an inch tall, basically. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch. So not quite to scale relative to the actual Mandalorian, but yeah, is what it is. They're still cool. So let's go ahead and walk through the Arvala-7 version first, and then we'll go ahead and look at a comparison. So here, looking from the top, we can see some of the paint detail on here. So there's some black parts, gray parts, pieces painted on here. The wash on this is more of a brownish color wash versus the dark gray wash or black wash that came on the standard version. And so you've got this other little black part painted here. And then now if we go ahead and flip it over to look at the bottom. So landing gear is the exact same as it is on the other version. So there is a little dark gray piece there, black, and that's basically it. Not really a whole lot of other paint stuff here on the side. So now if we go to this side, this is the side that does not have the removable panels. Again, a little more paint detail on here. There's the guns, all looks great. And then we turn it around to this side, and this is where you see some of the other cool features to this. So you've got the opening door here, which open to show the gun rack on the inside. And then this piece right here actually pops out. All of this black part right here is all negative space. So I'll go ahead and pop the roof off of this just so you can see that. So you can see that's all negative space. So if I actually pop the side off, now you can see what it looks like. And so this is a really cool feature to this, is that you know, essentially after his ship gets raided, it gets put back together, and all of the pieces are kind of all over the place and different colors, and cool to see it where it's kind of broken up like this, where the hull is actually fractured. So now if you're looking at the interior inside of the ship here, everything is the same. So you get your mithril in the carbonite. So there he is, pretty much the same as the other one. Got the little jetpack holder there. You've got the carbon freezing chamber in here. The wash, again, that brownish wash does get down into the interior of it as well. The bottom pops out here, the little ramp. And then you also have this part here that pops off. So this is just like the other version, where we can go ahead and pull off the engine part. So here's what it looks like. Again, just some of the pieces of it are missing essentially, and that is that. So if we're looking at the cockpit is basically the same. Again, it's got the little peg hole there if you wanted to go ahead and put the Grogu in this version, if you had the other one. And that is that. So from a features perspective, all of the features are the exact same. Landing gear works the same. The front pops out here. The sides of the landing gear fold out, just the exact same as the other one. Again, a really cool feature to have this thing displayed. So now if we go ahead and do some of the measurements here. So side to side here, basically the widest part of the engine is 5 3/8 inches. Put the top back on. To measure this, it does give you just a little tiny bit extra depth on this one. So this is 7 7/8 to basically the end of the, or 7 3/4, the end of the cockpit. With the guns on there, it gets out to about 8 1/4-ish, 8 3/8 inches. And if we look at that compared to the standard version, so we're at about 5 3/8 here again, maybe like 1/8 of an inch wider there on the engines, front to back. It's, again, 7 3/4, 8 1/4 all the way to the end of the guns, which I think that was the same. All right, yeah. So the one thing that is different too about these, if you're looking at it from a paint perspective, the decal, the yellow part on here, is much thinner on the right side. And I think just because of the contrasting colors, it makes this Arvala-7 version look like it's smaller, but it's actually not. It's the exact same size. So I measured it out in lots of different points, and it's still the same. So I'm not really sure why it looks that way, but again, really, really cool ship. I think that for those of you that have the standard version that would want to keep it and don't want to get this one, there are some other features to this that are pretty cool, with the, you know, negative space here missing out of the engine, as well as on the side here of the hull. So it's really up to you to determine whether or not it's worth the extra money to be able to get another one of these. But the figures are also really cool. I enjoy having Queel, as well as having the off-world Jawa. Those are nice features too. And so that is that. So if you like the video, go ahead and hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up for a like. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Now, one other thing really quick before I sign off on this. This standard version, I did remove all of the wash off of it, so you can see what it looks like. It looks relatively clean. Obviously, with the one that has the wash on it, this is just fresh out of the box here. With this version of it, the Arvala-7 one, which is basically where it's supposed to be damaged anyways, I'm probably going to keep it that way. But just so you know, the reason why this version looks so clean, it's because I actually did remove all the wash off of it. Thanks again.